These trade rumors, trade talks have awakened the sleeping giant. And when I say awaken the sleeping giant, is we knew he was going to make an appearance at some point. I tweeted about it last week, and it only took about a week to happen, which is LeVar Ball. Already speaking, already saying that Luke Walton is the worst coach for Lonzo. But I guess to his point, though, saying that send Lonzo to a team that will allow him to still grow as a player. Send him to a team that actually needs a point guard instead of putting him in a trade where the Pelicans kind of already have a point guard. Could you see a scenario where a third team may get involved to kind of help push along this trade?
Well, Phoenix is trying to get involved, and when they had been trying, when LeVar Ball spoke publicly, and sort of, I mean, behind the scenes, I mean, I had been reporting for a few days that the Ball camp was interested in Lonzo maybe going to Phoenix, and that Phoenix had some interest in that. So they're trying to get involved and be that third team. The problem for Lonzo and LeVar is that the Pelicans really like Lonzo, and I don't know if they would want to do this deal without him being somebody that they got. They really think that he could be a star. They think that he has a lot of potential, and they disagree that they already have a point guard. Drew Holiday is sort of their most established guard right now, and Drew, from what we've been told, doesn't want to be a point guard. So it's really less of an impacted backcourt than perhaps Lonzo feels it is. But Phoenix is definitely a place where it has several advantages for him. They are in desperate need of a point guard, and it's closer to home a little bit, which is significant for Lonzo just for personal reasons. He's got a kid in LA, so that's something that I haven't heard brought up, but I think would probably help him feel comfortable. But yeah, Phoenix is trying to get involved and trying to be that third team. That I would be surprised if the Pelicans were to do this deal and not get Lonzo Ball.
Appreciate the time, Tania.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's Tania Ganguli, the beat reporter for the Lakers for the Los Angeles Times, and that was a lot there just to hear, from her saying that the Ball camp. So when we say the ball camp, are we saying LeVar Ball, or who else are we saying when we say the ball camp? It's basically LeVar Ball, right?
I mean, him and his ego, right? That's
so that's two different people?
That's two different people. That's enough to make up a camp, right?
Yeah, that is enough to make up the camp. But yeah, it's interesting to see how Lonzo possibly could be affecting this trade too, in terms of wanting to play somewhere else and New Orleans wanting to keep him in the deal.
Are you surprised the Lakers are kind of just willing to give up on Lonzo so quick? Remember, he was the number 2 pick in the draft.
Right.
Magic said at his press conference that he could be just as good as he was.
Right.
And now, less than 2 years in, bye-bye.
Yeah, I think that's just Magic Johnson getting his emotions getting the better of him. First time, basketball operations guy in terms of making the decisions, and you get excited about the player who we got in the draft, and then you realize that 2 years later, a better player that can give you a championship quicker than what Lonzo can is available, possibly. Yeah, sorry, Lonzo, I got to go with what's best for the team. So I think just, Magic Johnson speaking too fast, speaking off emotion, rather than realizing that in this NBA, things can switch, things can change at the drop of a dime.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.